rather you than me. If you've been with me from Port of Miami, it's been a journey. Ain't nothing changed. A little stronger, a little wiser. Maybe a little more. Blame it on America. I'm pulling off the line.
Hello, everybody. I'm Larry Ridley. Welcome to Match.
Thank you very much, Larry. EA Sports coverage of the NFL. The National Football League is here and on the air. Coming up, we've got what should prove to be a good one between the Oakland Raiders and the Dallas Cowboys. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And from back there, a wise move. He'll just sit on this one, and it'll come out to the 25. So here are the Cowboys now ready to go on offense for the first time. They'll be led out by Dak Prescott, the 135th pick of the draft back in 2016 from Mississippi State.
And I saw that he had an interesting quote in the research packet that we had after last week's game. It's all on me now. I've got to lead my team and find a way for us to win a game. 0-2, but they're at home. I guess he's going to try and find a way to get the home crowd involved early.
Now the first carry for Ezekiel Elliott. And he'll wind up with about 6, up past the 30 to the 31. The numbers for Zeke from last week. 12 carries, 61 yards.
And he scored his first touchdown of the year in last week's game. So now he's hoping that helps establish a rhythm. And maybe now he can score a few in bunches, starting with this one.
Prescott now on second down. And this will be incomplete. And they'll look to avoid an early 3 and out here on 3rd and 4. They'll run it now out of the gun. No gain on the play there. A nice job defensively. And it likely forces a punt situation on 4th. And he got off the end there very quickly to make that play.
Yeah, it was almost like the bullet train, wasn't it? I mean, just zoom. Quick, quick, quick. And what a terrific play, holding them to no gain.
And this is away. It's a high kick, and he got all of it. He'll return it from the 6. Powers through. 12 yards on the return that time. And the Raiders will take over now 1st and 10. This is Jalen Richard. And he's going to lose yardage here. Back to his own 18. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down. Well, that play was doomed right from the start.
They just about ran into every defender on that one, didn't he? It felt like everyone got a piece of that tackle.
They'll look to throw here. Wide open, Amari Cooper. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. And that one results in 35 yards.
And let's face it, that what we just saw there, not a surprise, is it? I mean, this is what he does well. And if you don't tackle him as soon as he catches the ball, this is the end result. Big yardage afterwards.
Got the speed, the agility, so good with run after catch. And we're only in the first quarter, so they better get a wrangle and a hold on that quickly.
Yeah, you're exactly right. And what's really difficult to try and defend him is if you want to press him so that you get him on the ground quickly after the catch, a lot of times he'll just run past you at the initial point of contact, and he'll go deep. Well, from their point of view, this game could not be starting out much better, could it? Force a punt on defense, and now they're moving it crisply on offense.
Crisply, I like that.
You like
yeah,
that?
Yeah, moving it very, very well. Looks like the defense on their heels a little bit. You put a score in here, long way to go, but you're right, that's a heck of a start.
Yeah, and I think this is where the play caller is looking at his play sheet and saying, grab that dagger play, grab that play and just finish them off right now, because I think they'd love to gain that big advantage early.
Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll leave them with a 3rd and 3. Looks like the defense in press coverage here. Back to throw. Over the middle, complete. It's Cole. And he's going to get to the 31, enough for the first down. 9 yards on the pickup there, and it keeps the drive alive. Nice job keeping that opening drive alive, and they're in plus territory, that part of the field where you really want to convert on third down. They did. Big-time pickup for them, and now I think the aggressive play callers think to themselves, this part of the field, I take my shot at the end zone, because the closer you get to the end zone, the field gets condensed. Makes it a lot tougher to run those routes. You still got a chance to actually run past people right now. Take your shot at the end zone early in the down and distance count. Flush to his right. And he slides to avoid the hit. 14 yards is the pickup there, and a Raider first. Partner, he was going through his progressions. Not there, not there. After about the third one, he decided he better pull it down and run for it. And he slides down and avoids the hit for good measure. And the defense with their backs against the wall a little bit here as the offense is in the red zone.
Here we go.
And he gets it down close to the 10-yard line. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3. If these kinds of lanes are available, you have to feel like he's going to have a pretty big game on the ground. Yeah, you can tell early on he's got a little burst in his step, and that's a big pickup right there on first down. 3 yards to go here on 2nd down. Now a handoff here to his running back. Only a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 3rd down. He'll look to throw. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete. Pressure, and that's certainly going to be a key to this game going forward. And that time, they were able to get in there and influence the throw. Remember, quarterbacks got to get rid of it. They don't have the tucker roll that they can fall back on anymore. And Frank's kick is good. And the Raiders jump out to a 3-0 advantage. So in the end, they had the ball for 10 plays, but the drive only yields 3 points. Yeah, they were able to move the football, but the defense stiffened once their backs were to the end zone, and they were able to hold them to just 3. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And they'll put up the stop sign there as his guys will get it at the 25. A first down throw for Prescott. And the Raiders have got him. These strong safeties, some people may not realize it. It's really like an extra linebacker, right? It really is, because they're hybrids. Half linebacker, half defensive back. The linebacker in him on that play emerged. Sitting alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin, as it is Cowboy football to begin quarter number 2. But they face a 2nd and long to start things out. From the shotgun, it's Prescott. Now the pressure comes and he goes down. Just inside the 10, back at the 9. Khalil Mack in there to drop him, and sacks on 1st and 2nd downs are going to lead to a 3rd and long. So, Brandon, we've sat in with a lot of coaches, and when they talk about things they want to accomplish offensively, I'm not sure that sack and sack are on their play sheet. On 3rd down, Elliott. And he will lose yardage here back to his own 6. He loses 4, and it brings up 4th.
Partner, you mind if I take off this headset and put on a coaching headset?
You want to get this running game going?
I want to get this running game going. I'm going down there and saying, gentlemen, we have got to run the football. We've got to get it going right now.
Yeah, to this point in the second quarter, it has been a struggle. That's going to go in the books as a 55-yard punt. Well done. And that will come the offense as they take over. So out come the Raiders. And they had 3 points last time, but they didn't want 3 points because they were well within range of scoring a touchdown. We'll see if they can do better now.
I'm with you on that one. Let's just go ahead and be frank about the whole thing. The only one happy about the 3-point
kicker.
Exactly. He put it through the post. That's going to help him in contract time. But that offense, they're thinking, let's get in the end zone this time.
I don't know if that helped him in contract time. You could have kicked that one through.
I don't know about that.
Toe bash.
I don't know about that. Super toe. It's a lot of contact going on there, and in the end, unable to keep 2 hands on the football and bring it into his body.
Everything looked pretty good until the finish. Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And he'll be taken down at the 46-yard line. The reception good for 7. It's 3rd down.
Good throw, good catch, but I really like the route. The drag and being able to run away from defenders. Hard to stick with them for that long.
Yeah, better against man than zone, or
better against man, because now you're running away from someone and you're not running into a defensive player in another zone.
And he gets this one across midfield for the first down to the 46. It's an 8-yard pickup and leads to a new set of downs.
But we're used to seeing the guy that you consider the number 1 receiver double covered. But how about this guy? He's double covered and finds a way to make the play for a first down.
That's how you increase your Madden rating, right?
No doubt about that at all. And you know something? I think we'll hear about that from him soon.
That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
Came out in a power set, but that only served to put more men in the box. And guess what? If you're going to do that, you've got to win up front, right? Your offensive guys have got to beat the defenders. They lost all leverage on that play.
They'll set up to throw. Got his man complete over the middle. That's Cole. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. Give him 12 yards that time and an Oakland first down.
I think that's a big pickup for a first down, because when you run a drag route against zone, you're sometimes asking for trouble because you might run into a defender.
Yeah, well, there they ran into a first down, executed it to perfection. Then he'll give it here to his running back. Looking for a seam, but finding none. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it. No gain on the play. It'll be 2nd down. And as a defensive end, getting off the ball quickly, swarming to the football, making a tackle, that's what we saw right there.
Yeah, and that's what their job is. And really, a lot of the time, they have to throttle back a little bit in the run game, because you know those defensive ends, they're like in a sprinter stance. They're just headed straight for the quarterback. That was good recognition on that play to hold them to no gain.
8 yards on the completion, but now they face 3rd down. Two minutes remain here in the first half. We're back to Arlington right after this timeout. Don't forget, coming up at halftime, we'll take you to Orlando and Larry Ridley. Larry will have the highlights of this first half, but he won't have touchdowns because we haven't had any to this point.
But there's still time, though, partner.
And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down.
I'm not sure we could spot any tendency here on this 3rd down. They could have run it or passed it. Either one was available. They chose to try and get it through the air, but they were unsuccessful.
From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. And this is caught. Amari Cooper. And he takes it down to the 13 and picks up the first. They've got another first down. The Raider passing game clicking on all cylinders right now.
It's funny when I go back to our pregame meeting with Amari Cooper, and we mentioned, what if they play man coverage against you? He almost seemed offended by it, didn't he?
I'll beat it. That's basically what he said, right?
I mean, the best receivers we've ever talked to in coverage, when you talk about covering them with one guy, they think that's a personal affront. If they feel like if they can't just beat one defender, then they're not very good.
Give them 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
Well, if the coaching staff's doing a good job upstairs, they'll file away what they just saw from the defense right there. They sold out to stop that running play. I'd say keep that in mind. They want to try that again. Go play action and hit them over the top.
And to give this time to the tailback. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play, and it's going to bring up a third down.
When you try to create space for your running back, the first thought is how physical is the offensive line. Sometimes it's just positioning. On that play, it didn't matter about positioning or being physical. The defensive front, they out-leveraged them and won the battle.
This will be caught at about the 6. And now a timeout called by the Cowboys defense. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. So out comes a field goal team now for the second time here today. From the right hash, and this one just a chippy. And Frank's kick is good. Around the NFL, second quarter in Santa Clara. And the 49ers are out to the early lead. And we'll keep you abreast of how that one shakes out. So they get 3. They were hoping for 6. An unlucky number 13 play drive.
Well, you go to the sideline after putting 3 points on the board, happy, but you wanted to be ecstatic. You wanted to have 6 on the board. On the opposite sideline, though, the defense, I think they're high-fiving each other, only giving up 3 after letting them run that much offense.
And out now come the Cowboys. This is their 3rd drive. Right now, maybe not about points, just about getting something. They haven't gotten a first down yet in this game.
It's a mental barrier you don't think about until you go a couple of drives without getting a first down. Then all of a sudden it looms big. It gets harder and harder to actually attain that first down.
They start on the ground with Elliott. And he'll fight forward to about the 27-yard line. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
Well, he was looking for some running room, and there wasn't a whole lot of it there on that play. I think he was lucky to get a couple of yards out of it because those defenders, they were rallying to the football pretty quickly.
They go to Elliott again. And he's going to be taken down here as that will lead us to the end of the first half of play. And we will skip the highlight show this week. Get right back to this Week 3 matchup. This is taken about 7 yards deep. Now comes the Raiders offense. They'll go on offense first to start quarter number 3. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking to extend that lead.
And this is where I enjoy talking about one of my favorite subjects, tendency breakers, or counters as I also like to call them. You've done things in a certain way in the first half, and they've had an ability to see what you've done. They're going to make their adjustments. So guess what? You adjust yourself and try and stay ahead of the pace because you are looking for some separation in this ball game.
The adjustment to the adjustment.
Without a doubt. Show them one thing, hit them with something else.
On second down, they'll try and run the counter. And some room to work. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. That one will go as a gain of 11. Raiders having a first down as well.
At this stage of the game, the run-pass numbers are a little bit out of whack because most of their yardage has come through the air. But in a sense, that just sets things up for big runs like that because the defense might be a little bit off balance. They pick up another first down with that run.
Now a handoff as they run left side. And he'll take this one across the 45 up to about the 46-yard line. A gain of 3, second down.
Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the third quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe you change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down.
Oh, my goodness. Was that a defensive back that got to him with the pressure?
Oh, look at the former defensive back. You're all smiles up here.
I hope everybody can hear my smile on that play.
3rd and long. They'll look to throw. And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect. When they need to play on 3rd down, you kind of know what direction the ball's going, but the defense knew it too.
Yeah, it's a good call because they wanted to put 2 men on him, and they did. Dare him to throw into double coverage. Really what you're saying is, let's see if one of your other receivers can beat us.
And a nice job here to down this one right on the 5-yard line. Now we take a glance at the offense as they work their way back out for their first possession of the second half. They were able to get the stop defensively. Now a chance really to set the tone here in quarter 3.
They can really take charge, can't they? And this is probably how it was drawn up at the half. I think we can go inside the locker room, all right? And I think we would see up on the grease boards, stop them defensively, get the ball back for the offense, and let's go downfield and score. Seems simple, right? The last part, we have to find out if that's going to happen. But the first part worked to perfection. Did exactly what they wanted, and now their offense has to pay it off.
See if they can get the latter 50%. A first down carry by Elliott. And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
And that's another stop for the defense, something we've seen all game long. They have been on fire today. No matter what's called by the offense, they've had an answer for it.
Second down throw for Prescott. Over the middle, he finds Godwin complete. And he's able to get up here to the 26. And they'll get 9 there as that sets him up better for 3rd down.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target. He's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from, and said, I know how to beat that, and that's what he did.
So the offense has it 1st and 10. They go play action here on 1st down. He's going to look deep down. And this is caught inside the 5. Touchdown, Cowboys. Well, they went play action there and set it up nicely for him. I mean, he can flat fly, and they hit him downfield.
And it doesn't take much to create that extra bit of space that a guy at his speed needs. If you go play action, all you want is just a moment where the guy's covering, take their attention somewhere else, and then he's by him. And once he's by him, there's no catching him. As they always like to say, if a receiver's even to a defensive back, that means he's leaving.
Unless that DB is Charles Davis, right?
In that case, he left me a long time ago.
Come on now.
Trust me.
Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll wind up getting an extra couple yards here for his trouble as he'll bring this one out to the 27. And now here come the Raiders. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you've got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. And they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
Give him 9 there on the 1st down completion.
When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you've got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go because he might wander into some tough coverage.
Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. This one caught left side by Cooper. And he's taken down, but not before he gets this into enemy territory across the 40. A very solid gain of 27. So Amari Cooper out of Northwestern High School in Miami making a nice play there.
And it's so funny that when I was going through the draft process when he came out of Alabama and was inquiring about him and his skills, They say it all began back in Miami. He really became a pro receiver at a young age because of his attention to detail and precision. But don't forget his athletic ability. That's what made that catch there.
He did spend 1 year with Teddy Bridgewater as his quarterback there, so that helped back in high school.
So how do you beat man coverage? First of all, you want to be a superior receiver, but you know something, that guy who's covering you, he's usually pretty good too. So the corner route is usually a great spot to get it done.
From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. That is caught at the 7-yard line. And here he'll get it down to the 7. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch. They'll run it here. This is Deontay Foreman. And they'll be driven back here, losing yardage to the 10-yard line. The Raiders on 3rd down. They've converted just 2 for 6 thus far. This will be 3rd and 6. Let's go. They'll set up a throw. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
But that was certainly an aggressive call and an aggressive play. Instead of just going for the first down, took the shot in the end zone, went for the touchdown.
Yeah, and on 3rd down, maybe said, forget about the sticks. We want 6. And Frank's kick is good. And with that, they will move ahead by 2 here in the 4th. So the drive here ends with a field goal, and that does give them the lead, but this one is still a long ways from over.
And you love to be able to look up at the scoreboard and see that you're out in front, but then you take one look across the field and see that offense is raring to come back out, and you think, I don't know that field goals are going to be enough to get us home.
But now Dallas gets set to take the field. And that last drive, a long drive, but not just that, they had a great air attack going. Do they stick with that?
I would think that they would, because if they were competent enough to do it on the last drive, starting backed up in their own territory, why would you...
Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Khalil Mack in there to drop him for his 5th sack of the year. And they weren't in zone coverage, they were in man, and each man did his job.
And that looked like vintage, old-school coverage, didn't it? Man coverage reminded me of an old Raiders team. They had a Hall of Famer at one corner and a Defensive Player of the Year at the other, and they just locked people down.
He's going to flip that out to the flat. It's complete. It'll be a pickup of just 2, and it's going to be 3rd down and a ways to go here, 3rd and 14. And just in general, Charles, on a play like that, how tough is it for the defense to account for a running back essentially being a receiver downfield?
It's very difficult, especially if the running back has skill.
And got his man complete. It's a big play there on 3rd down. And even 40 yards. And at this stage, down in the second half, looks like they just wanted to find a way to get it in the hands of their playmaker, and they did.
I think you're exactly right. I don't think the coordinator's looking at his play sheet and trying to figure out which play will work well. He's trying to figure out how to get the ball to the playmaker that you just described. Looking down at that sheet, you find people plays, not necessarily X's and O's, and that's exactly what they did there.
Call it a gain of 5. Out of the gun, here's Prescott. And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack. The man whose father was a Cowboy, Mario Edwards Jr., in there to bring him down for a loss of 7.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
Second down, Prescott. It'll be a gain of 6, and that'll make it 3rd down. One of the bigger plays in the game thus far, and the crowd getting into it as we come up on a big 3rd down. Now Prescott out to the flat. That's complete to his running back. And he's going to get it down to the 33-yard line here. So a big kick coming now for Dan Bailey. This for a fourth quarter lead. And the 10-year vet knocks it through the goalpost. And with that, they have taken the lead by a point here in the fourth. A little bit of a lower trajectory there on the deep kick, and it worked.
Had to do it because he had to drive it out low because of the length of the kick. Able to do that, got it above the defense, and over the post.
And this return net's positive as he gets past the 25 and up to the 27-yard line. The Raiders offense now, they trot back out. We saw a number of good games earlier today. This one might top all of those. It's been a dandy as we come up on 1st and 10. They'll come out throwing here on first down. That's Samuel, caught left side. He's at the 30, 10, and all the way in. Touchdown, Oakland. A big play there. His first touchdown here of the new campaign. And the Raiders have moved out in front here in the fourth quarter.
I think if you polled defensive backs, they would say the corner route, take that out, make it illegal, because that is so hard to recognize and so hard to adjust because your first move is to not get beat in the middle of the field. And that's how they move you first before they break off to the corner.
But then as the wide receiver, great job. It's tough to turn those upfield and go, but he did a great job with it there.
Really good balance, really good body control. And how about the end result? A touchdown.
Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And they'll put up the stop sign there as his guys will get it at the 25. So out come the Cowboys now as their offense gets set to take over. And fortunate to get points on the board last time. They had to hit a really long field goal to do so.
The kickers in today's game are so good and so skilled and hit from distances that we almost start to take them for granted. And we can't do that. That's a long field goal that they got 3 points out of. They've got to feel good about that. And they better make sure they love him up because he's helped them out.
Yeah, now we'll see if that offense can put 6 on the board here. We'll see.
We always talk about having to read defenses and how complicated that is. Well, this was an excellent read. Read the pressure and got rid of the football before it even got to him for a nice game.
And when they're blitzing like that, running back usually a good spot to go with a football?
Without a doubt, because he's right in your sight line or he's near you. So you're able to just get it to him easily. And once he gets in space, that's usually a good matchup for him. Seeing that play and understanding just how tough it is to cover tight ends, especially the ones running around the NFL nowadays, makes me glad I didn't make it in that league. I would have had a really difficult time.
But now you get to sit up here with me.
Yeah, and that's fun, isn't it? And what a really nice game right there on first down.
Ezekiel Elliott going to take it the distance. And he is into the end zone for a Cowboy touchdown. Ezekiel Elliott, his second touchdown on the season. And the Cowboys are an extra point away from tying the football game. And on that long run, maybe the defense caught napping a little bit.
The concentration level may not have been there. I agree with you on that one because those types of plays, when they result like that, they're almost like big bolts of lightning, aren't they? Whoosh, and off he goes.
This is fielded at the goal line. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. Now the Raiders offense, they get set to head back on the field. And following that long touchdown pass, a one-play drive last time, let's see if the defense, you know they're ready. They don't want that to happen again.
And you would have thought they would have been ready the last time. That's what you work on all the time. Make sure that no one gets behind you. That's the cardinal sin of defense, not giving up the long pass. They did. Let's see how they adjust.
That one will go as a gain of 11. Raiders having a first down as well.
For so many years, I was convinced it was a myth, because you always hear about the smaller running back. Oh, he gets lost, you can't find him, and sometimes that's part of his genius. But it's true. You get behind big offensive linemen, the defensive line guys trying to find him, trying to peek around people to see him, and he gets lost. But this guy gets lost in a good way for his offense, picking up big yardage.
Time for a break. We'll come back and see how it all shakes out after this. So it's Raider football as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Back to throw here. Over the middle, complete. It's Cole. And a big hit at the end of that one. He's knocked down hard, right near midfield. Give him 12 yards that time and an Oakland first down.
That's exactly what they were looking for. If they get another gain like that, they'll be right there in field goal range.
And the tension building. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he is swallowed up right at the line of scrimmage. And on 2nd and 10 now.
Let's go!
From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. Throw left side complete. It's Buchanan. And he'll be brought down at the 45-yard line. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down. They're making steady progress, but I see your face. You're worried about that clock.
I'm worried about the clock, and at some point, you have to have a splash play in there as well.
He'll drop to throw. Got his man complete over the middle. That's Cole. And he's going to have the first down at about the 38. It goes as a gain of 8, and it moves the chains.
Partner, they're clearly saving those timeouts, but they still have to work with some urgency to put themselves in the right position.
Here we go!
Now back to throw. Quick hitter here, it's complete. And he's going to get it down to the 33-yard line here. And now a timeout called by the Cowboys defense. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages.
Let's go!
They're going to look to throw. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete. Curtis Samuel, the intended target, and it's 3rd down. He was unable to complete it there, and just not the game that you would expect from him. He's been off the mark, really, start to finish.
Yeah, it makes you wonder what exactly is going on. Is he a little bit dinged up here, or is he just off just by a bit? Maybe he can get it back in this situation. He'll need to.
And he'll have his man. That's Cooper. And he's going to have a first down here as he gets this one to the 17-yard line. In the red zone this time.
Come on, let's go!
Now Foreman. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4.
I think we saw the strategy there, how they moved it to the left hash so they could line things up for them to kick the field goal.
They run again with Foreman. And this time the yards won't come so easy as they'll, in fact, tackle him behind the line. So he loses 3 yards there. Now 3rd down. And they're going to get the timeout called. What a finish. We're down to 4 seconds to go in this football game. So now this game hinges on the right leg of Andrew Franks. And now with 4 seconds left, we get a timeout call. The Raiders on 3rd down. Not quite 50%, 4 for 9. This is 3rd and 7. And they'll try and burn some clock with a sneak. The keeper nets him only a yard, and that's going to bring up 4th. And we are set for a great finish as that timeout comes in with 2 seconds to go in this football game. And it is good. He splits the uprights on the chip shot. They are on to the 4th quarter now, by the way, in Santa Clara.